Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece. Today, we are going to embark on an exciting new journey throughout the entire history of One Piece. Over the next half a year or so, we'll be going through every arc in the series and reviewing them individually on a weekly basis. The idea being that hopefully by the time we're done, the Whole Cake Island arc will have wrapped up, and we can temporarily end the series with the review of that arc. But that is an awfully long time away. For now, we are going to step right back to the beginning with Romance Dawn. Welcome to the very first arc review. Romance Dawn marks the very beginning of One Piece and spans chapters 1 to 7 of the manga as well as the first 3 episodes of the anime. At the forefront of this arc is the initial 53-page story of Gol D. Roger's execution and Luffy discovering his dream of becoming the Pirate King. And it's so hard to look back on this material and see anything except the birth of a legendary story. Almost every moment in that very first chapter is an iconic scene in One Piece lore, and no matter how many times I've read or watched this particular section of the series, it's always incredibly enjoyable and touching. But that's not all Romance Dawn has to offer. This arc sees the introduction of my personal favourite character, Rowan Owazoro, and his absurdly short backstory. Seriously, his flashback is a mere 7 pages long. But hey, I will never complain with getting to the point quickly. These days, Oda really takes his time crafting every story element under the sun, which, to be fair, I also love. But it is pretty amazing to see just how much a young Oda could fit into such little physical space. It's just such a fine example of condensed storytelling. Of course, this arc also introduces us to Koby, a character who begins his own journey in tandem with Luffy. And his arc is quite similar to Luffy's actually. A young boy figuring out his dreams and finding the courage to pursue them. Looking back on all of this, it makes me very proud of Koby in the current timeline given all he's achieved and very excited for the future of his character. I firmly believe that by the end of the series, Koby will attain the rank of Fleet Admiral and possibly have a confrontation with Luffy, who will have become the Pirate King, thus making all of this early day setup pay off in the best way possible. As for villains, this arc offers us 2. One a pirate named Alvida, and one a marine named Captain Axehand Morgan. Neither villain really poses a serious threat, but they do have unique and cool designs. I quite specifically like Morgan, so much so that I kind of wish his design was saved for a future more powerful character in the series. But hey, fantastic design is one of the key features that got me interested in One Piece in the early days, so good on it for being captivating. Romance Dawn also offers us the first of many dicks of the One Piece world, being Helmeppo. Now, the character is actually pretty cool in the series these days, but back here, he was the height of spoilt brat, and actually reminds me a lot of the World Nobles in retrospect. And in this arc, we get double the satisfaction in that not only does Helmeppo get hit by Luffy, but he even gets hit by his own father, Axehand Morgan, who smacks him down for being worthless and whining too much. So I think this initial arc handles its villains quite well and presents a good amount of variety amongst them. We have 3 separate entities, a brutal pirate, a power-drunk marine, and a spoilt brat, each of whom is highly satisfying to see beaten by our protagonists. But I think what this arc does best is set up a world of infinite possibilities. Now, a lot of other manga and anime series set themselves in a central location like a village or more commonly a high school, but One Piece abandons that idea completely after the very first chapter, and as a result it presents the audience with a huge degree of adventure and intrigue as we adopt the perspective of Luffy setting sail to see the world that neither he nor we know anything about. And given that, I can't help but be enthralled to read more. And if you're an anime-only watcher, you'll notice that there are a few differences in the Romance Dawn arc. Firstly, Luffy and Zoro's flashbacks were not shown in the first 3 episodes. Instead, they got relegated to episodes between Romance Dawn and Orangetown, as well as between Syrup Village and Baratie. I'm not entirely sure why, but the production team probably felt that the series would be better paced if we just jumped into Luffy's adventure rather than starting with his childhood. Another curious difference is that the anime begins on a cruise ship that Alvida proceeds to attack, and the only real explanation I have for this is that it was used as a device to introduce Nami in the first episode, and try to appeal to female viewers from the get-go. Otherwise, there is absolutely no reason to start Luffy's adult story here, rather than Alvida's ship as it was in the manga. So yeah, if you're an anime-only watcher, you know Nami at this point. Well, at least you know of Nami. Actually, fun fact, in the anime, Nami is the very first Straw Hat to appear in the series, even before Luffy. But those differences aside, Romance Dawn was a fantastic beginning to a series and demonstrated a hell of a lot of potential going forward. In hindsight, we of course know that One Piece would go on to surpass anybody's expectations, but we will get to that in good time. And that pretty much does it for Romance Dawn. Next time on the Arc Review, we will be taking a look at Orange Town, which amongst other things is the genesis of the amazing character that is Buggy the Clown. If you enjoyed this video, then feel free to like, favorite, or subscribe, and please do comment with your thoughts on Romance Dawn. This has been the Grand Line Review, and I'll see you next time.